Hello. This video lecture is going to be very short. This is just meant to sort of take everything that we've talked about so far about unreliable narrators and just sort of put it in one place. During a lot of the Zoom sessions, this idea of unreliable narrators has come up, but we haven't really sort of consolidated all of that, disparate information into one place. So that's what this is. It's going to be really quick. It's going to be mostly review of stuff that's been talked about during our sessions, but I just want to sort of put it all in one place. So again, unreliable narrator that we shouldn't believe. What makes them unreliable, this is important. Most of the time, unreliable narrators are either abusing drugs or alcohol, they suffer some pronounced mental illness, or they have some sort of faulty belief system that sort of makes them biased or even prejudiced in some manner. And we've talked about this, I argue that all narrators are unreliable because we all perceive reality differently. We all react to things differently, we all analyze things differently in the moment, and we all remember things differently. So that being said, I argue that it is impossible for a narrator to be completely objective. And this has a few different facets to it, in that literature, fiction, is written by flawed, biased humans who may have their own emotional trauma, their baggage, whatever. So, because literature is written by flawed, biased, unreliable people, the story is inherently going to be the same. So, just the act of creating a story makes it unreliable, makes the narrator unreliable. But then going beyond that, our narrators are within this constructed reality created by the writer, and they are telling the story to the reader. And in doing so, our reader is inherently supposed to trust that narrator, but just like all of us who are unreliable and who perceive reality differently, we may be feeling sick one day, we may be in a bad mood one day, and we perceive things differently than we would if we were happy or not feeling sick. That unreliability carries on. So I argue that there is no such thing as a reliable narrator. Now, why might a writer, taking a step back from that, why would a writer choose a narrator that is obviously unreliable? This forces the reader to be more active. They have to analyze more. They have to think about things more. It also gives the writer some freedom that they might not necessarily have. Think of, twist endings in literature, or even in movies. Fight Club's a great example. Right here we have the narrator from Fight Club. Unreliable, and if he wasn't unreliable, it's obvious that he is unreliable throughout the story and throughout the movie. It's set up right away because he is emotionally unstable. It's set up right up front because of his insomnia and how it his insomnia sort of deteriorates his mental state. We get to the end, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a major plot twist at the end. There's a major twist ending that would be impossible if he wasn't unreliable. Patrick Bateman, another famous unreliable narrator. So, a writer may choose an unreliable narrator for a variety of reasons. Personally, I always use unreliable narrators, and not necessarily, all of my narrators are unreliable because of my beliefs about unreliable narrators, but I do use some obviously unreliable narrators, and part of me does it because I think they're fun. I think those damaged people are fun to write. I think they are fun for the reader to read and to empathize with, okay? So what does this effect have on the story? I don't know why I have this twice here, but like I said, it can allow for you to sort of mess with your reader through an unreliable narrator. Okay? It gives you some freedom. It gives you, I personally think it makes stories more fun if they're unreliable. So there's a lot of different reasons why we would choose to use an unreliable narrator, and there's different effects that it can have. Okay?